How's it going, Sha?
Um, that's such an excellent question. How is it going? I've become a lot more, um, uh, I don't even know what the word is, circumspect? I don't know. Once you're on a plane for longer than 6 hours, what is time? And then once you start to question time, you start to question everything.
Yeah.
So, I know nothing, but I am one with the wind. You know what I mean? But ultimately, things are fine, I guess. How are you doing?
I am good. We miss you. Welcome back. You
Oh,
know?
oh, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
happy to be back.
Amen. I actually went out on a trip uh last week as well. Combined hours were over 6, but I had two flights.
Okay.
I had to
Oh.
do the 2 hour layover,
Mhm.
three and three and a half
Mhm.
in the air.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure yours is far more extreme, but there is something weird about like getting in a plane, knowing time is passing,
Right.
and people telling you that it's not what you think. Like
Mm.
like you get in the plane and like the guy's like, this flight is 3 hours and you're gonna get there and it's gonna be an hour later. And none of that. and we just accept that as true. Like, okay, I guess
Mhm.
this is how math works now in the air. You know,
Mhm.
I'm leaving here. I know it's this time I'm gonna get there. It's not gonna be the same amount of time as I've been gone,
Right.
you know?
Right. It's very okay, so travel-wise, I was going to Melbourne, Australia, right?
Okay.
So that means basically flying over the Pacific Ocean, whole thing. Flying over the whole just right across the waistline of the Pacific Ocean.
The
So,
confidence, yo.
yeah, just yeah, we can do that. Um, and I don't know, they don't really have too many nonstop flights from New York to Melbourne because halfway through the plane's gotta, like, refuel. There's no place to stop when you're over the ocean. Um, so
Fair.
in 3 legs. So the first leg was, Newark to, LA. So first I had to take an hour trip to Newark 'cause um,
Wildest leg of the trip, by the way.
wildest honestly, just getting out there. And so from Newark, New York to LA, that is about 5 and a half, 6 hours. For some reason, flying out to the West Coast is longer than flying back, it feels like.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like a wind thing, you're fighting the wind on the way there, but the wind is at your back. I don't know what it is, but every time, it's like 6 hours out there, 5 and a half to 6 hours out there, 4 and a half to 5 hours back. Not
Yeah.
how that works. So, about a 6-hour flight out to LA. So, already, I'm like, "Okay, great. That's a wonderful appetizer," because then it's LA to Auckland, New Zealand. That's 13 hours.
Yo.
That's 13 hours, and the time does a thing where I don't even is it 13 hours? Like, that's 13 hours not counting what it might be like on when you take time zones into account.
Right.
So you cannot measure it by a day. You can only measure it by hours. Like, you will be on this plane for 13 hours. That's just how that goes. Um, and so, there's that, and then once you get to Auckland, New Zealand, there was another 3.5-hour flight to Melbourne from New Zealand. Already I'm laughing because 'cause I'm delirious. So,
Oh my god.
but I'll tell you this, the airline that once we got to LA, the airline to get over to New Zealand is called Air New Zealand. That seems
Okay.
to be who's let me honestly, the best airplane I've ever been on, ever,
Oh,
ever. We were premium economy,
okay.
which, I don't know what economy was like, but I bet their economy is probably like Delta's Comfort Plus or something, you know what I mean? Like, or even just like a night, you know what I mean? Like the front of Southwest. I
Yeah.
don't know. It must have been like they probably still because we're all on the same 13-hour flight. I don't know. I never went back there. They were pretty hardcore about keeping those curtains closed so you couldn't see what the other people were doing. But I didn't get a sense that it was all chickens and goats back there, you know? Like they seemed to be okay. No one seemed to act up. But premium economy, first of all, leg room, like, whoa. Like
Okay.
you would have been absolutely comfortable. Um, and they gave you a pillow, a blanket, a bottle of water, a little package of like toothbrush, toothpaste,
Okay.
earplugs, socks. Um,
Yo.
yeah, just because you live there now. You know what I mean? So
Sound like a gift bag for the Emmys, yo. That's what's
yeah.
up.
So right, exactly. Back for the Emmys. And you get 2 meals, right? So they give you the menu of what the meal your choices are.
Okay.
They say, "All right, for breakfast, these are what the choices will be." You know, you can have a croissant, you have some yogurt, and then one of these entrees. Dinner, here's your little appetizer, here are the bread choices, and then here are the choices for entree, and then the dessert will be this, right? You're like, "Okay, whatever." So what they do is they get you on there, and I thought this was going out there, I thought this was because we flew out, like, at night. Like, we
Right.
left, like, 9 o'clock at night, and so they were like, "Well, here's dinner and blah, blah, blah," but no, this is just on the way back, we left, you know, in the afternoon, and they still do the same thing because you can't know what is going on outside. In order for the flight to work on the inside, you cannot know what's going on outside. So all window shades are down.
Okay.
All window shades are down. They give you they get you on, you get settled, you figure out what's going on. Um, they come through with dinner service. So, what do you want? Do you want the lamb, the chicken, or the vegetarian one? I got the lamb each time. What are we doing? I'm on a plane. They gave me a blanket and a pillow. I didn't have to ask. Give me the lamb. Let's do it. Give me the lamb. Give me the garlic bread because y'all already gave me a toothbrush and toothpaste. I can fix that in the bathroom. Also, the bathroom, I think they go in and clean after each person. It's the cleanest bathroom. It was cleaner than my bathroom when I got home. Like,
That's
it's the
what's
cleanest
up.
bathroom. So we so then they give us dinner and they come through, here you go, here's this, blah blah blah. You know, lights are lights are kind of high, folks are eating, everything's whatever. They come through, they clean it up, and then it's it's got like the great, it's got like I don't know what you want to call it. The disco lighting, gradient lighting, bisexual lighting, whatever you want to call it. Porn store lighting, but they start to kind of it's in like blues and then like a light purple and then a deep purple and then it's dark. We've just gone through sunset on the plane. That's what's
Yo.
going on over the and they bring down all the lights and everybody's full. They got the itis. Everybody goes to sleep.
Yo.
Everyone goes to sleep. They keep those lights off for the majority of the flight. So everyone is knocked out. Again, window shades down. Can't know what's going on outside. Then after a certain point, people start to stir or whatever. You can kind of feel it. But then also what's happening, the lights that brought us down are bringing us back up. Now we're in sunrise colors. We're or a pinky orange, right? A pinky orange. The sun's coming out, blah, blah, blah. They come through. What would you like for breakfast? Here's your croissant. You want yogurt? Do you want eggs? Do you want the French toast? What do you want? Blah, 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 blah. They give you that. You eat that up, yada yada. You got another hour or two before the plane lands, and you land. You're done.
Yo.
wild business, my man.
Yo,
Wild
I want to
business.
move on this plane. That is great.
I was like, "Oh, no," because I knew I had to fly that back, right? But I also knew that's just to get back into America, and then I had to get on what United or some shit, like, boo.
Yeah, that's not bad if it's the last leg. That can't be the first leg.
First yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah,
the
yeah.
standard's getting worse as you getting
As
closer
you
and
get
tired.
right,
Nah,
yes.
B,
So
that is incredible.
that's the ride back, But,
Like low key, I thought like they were selling you on a timeshare. Like you could live here too. You know?
I mean, it was very relaxed, and I was very lucky. The woman next to me, on the way out was friendly, but didn't wanna talk a lot. We all just went to sleep. You know what I mean? I slept kind of hard on that one, harder than I thought,
Yeah,
because I think I was so anxious as to, "Oh god, I gotta be on flights forever," that by the time I got there, I was exhausted,
yeah,
and then just conked out, and then woke up, and then it was the same it was Air New Zealand from New Zealand to Australia. Same premium economy, same situation, except there's only 1 meal because it's like a 3.5-hour flight. But it's
yeah.
not snacks, it's a meal,
Yo,
right? And so they give you the meal and then, you watch a movie, and you do whatever, and then you're in Australia. And so that was great. Now on the way back, same thing. I'm watching this time, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I see how they did it last time, it's the lights," Like, um, and everything, and I even then, I was like, I'm a little antsy, for some reason, I can't sleep. I watched The Fabelmans on the flight, so that's great, the Steven
there you
Spielberg
go.
movie, fantastic, and then I do end up falling asleep a little bit, and then getting up, having breakfast, blah, blah, blah. But in the middle, like, while I'm watching The Fabelmans, most people are asleep around me. Um, but some lady is at a window, maybe on my row or whatever, in a window seat, and she just probably out of curiosity. Again, it's nighttime on the plane. Opened the window shade, and it was blinding sun. And she was like, "Ah," and shut it down.
She messed
I'm
up the
like,
illusion, yo.
"Yeah, don't do that." They tell you. They tell you not to do that. Um But they also tell you during takeoff and landing, please, like, open up your window shades because
Mm.
they're doing takeoff and landing. And I was like, "Do they need to do they need these windows to see the backup out of the space? Like, why do we need to?"
You in my lane, B. Come on,
Yeah,
duck. You got
right.
duck.
So, I'm like, "Okay, whatever. Do we all need to lean out of the way so they can see straight through to the back of the plane?" And it was one of those big ones too, one of those big planes where it's like 2 seats on either side and then the middle row of, like, 4 seats,
Oh, okay,
one
okay.
of those. Um, so they had a lot of us in there. It was a big a big-ass
Yo.
plane.
Yeah, we had very different experiences. My
Yeah, well, I'm sure your experience was probably more like when I flew to and
listen,
to and
boy,
from LA.
I went to Boise. So
Oh, you back in Boise, huh?
yo, Boise rocks for me. I love the space. Good people out there, all 15 of y'all. Y'all are great, you know? I yeah, my flight was never more than like 4 people across, whatever plane I was in. They
Mm,
would do the 2 and 2s.
right.
Um, I got up at midnight to pack for a flight that left at 7, and I
What?
didn't get back in time to get to take a nap. So by the
Mm,
time I got to the flight, I was exhausted, and I knew I was
right.
gonna be there like roughly like 10 hours because it was like flight holdover flight, and then I had a meeting that same night,
Mhm.
so I was gonna be shot by the meeting.
Right.
So I got to the plane, I looked around, and I decided, like, listen, I'm never gonna see any of you again in my life.
Right.
So I am gonna snore prolifically
Oh, no.
in this whole flight, B. Like,
Right,
I
right.
embraced it, I owned it. I said, listen,
Mhm.
this is gonna happen. Um, it's every now and then, being big causes me to snore, but it also means no one will interrupt my snoring.
Right.
No
Sure.
one's gonna like talk to me about it. It's just
Nope.
gonna happen. Y'all are gonna eat it.
Mhm.
I tried my best. I bought I bought some hostage tape. I don't know if you know hostage tape. It's like so there's this thing for people that snore. They call hostage tape, where like it looks like you a hostage because you put it over your mouth when you go to sleep, and it helps you to breathe through your nose.
Okay.
Now, I
Alright.
can't wear hostage tape on the plane just out willy-nilly because then people think there's a problem. So I had to
Yeah, you
wear.
think? First off, there's so much to unpack there.
But I
Like, is
started,
the name brand hostage tape, or is that
yeah,
just
it's the name brand. Like,
the
cause they,
name brand is hostage tape, so that's
yeah,
just not its name out in the streets.
yeah,
That's
like
like,
that's
I'm
the
looking
name
for
of that.
hostage tape brand tape.
Yeah, like you Google hostage tape, it's gonna come up. You're gonna see a whole bunch of men, specifically men, by the way. No women apparently snore and would
Y
wear hostage tape.
Yeah, you
Uh,
think?
yeah.
Yeah, we'll take our chance snoring. I feel like probably, honestly, probably because a woman with tape over their mouth, so many people would act like they didn't see it. Nobody wants to be complicit in whatever the fuck is going on there.
But I started using it that week and it helped with my sleeping. Like I
Mhm.
snored a little less. I felt like I was getting deeper sleep.
Okay,
So I was like, yo, I'm going on this plane ride. Let me grab a couple for the hotel, get some deep
okay.
sleep. And when I got to the plane, I was like, yeah, I should just do this and
Mhm.
hopefully help circumvent some of the snoring. And I'm sure I
Uh-huh.
still snored, but I did my best to not be like OD.
Okay.
But I also had to bring uh Gabby pointed this out. I should bring a mask for COVID, even though like I'm not wearing it currently, but just for
Mhm.
people's like mental, like they're comfortable with me wearing a COVID mask, even though the hostage mask covers less of my face, it only covers my lip. It's more dramatic. Uh so she's like, put on your hostage tape, but put the mask over it. So it just
Uh-huh.
looked like you got
A mask
a
on.
mask on. So yeah,
Yeah.
everybody during the flight, like they were treating me with mad like respect and caution, and like they wouldn't shake my hand because they thought I was a germaphobe, and I was just wearing hostage tape. So like, pretty cool advantage. I got mad space,
Oh my
and I got
god.
some of the deepest sleep I've ever gotten on back-to-back flights.
That
Um,
is insane,
yeah,
but I'm glad it worked for you.
yo, prolific,
Oh, you know what? On Air New Zealand, they give you headphones, over-the-ear headphones
nice.
to use. I mean, you take them anywhere else because the plug is, you can't use it anywhere else, but only on that plane. But I mean, like, so people could have just put the headphones on. They were good quality headphones, so
Yeah.
it would have been muted anyway.
You got people mixing albums and shit on the plane.
Yeah. But yeah, so, that's what I thought of when you were like, "I don't want people to hear my snoring."
Listen, I hope they did that too. And in combination between me being muffled by my taped up mouth,
Mhm.
and you wearing the headphones and airplane noise, I think it was like controllable, you know?
Perhaps. I mean, there's still the visual of you sitting in a chair with hostage tape.
That's why I
Um,
had the mask. I was concerned. I was like, I get it. Like if I got my mouth taped up, I could see that
mhm.
being a thing, you
Okay.
know? But
Yeah.
I made it a point to wear the mask when I was on the plane.
Right.
Only person that got scared every time was the
Mhm.
person that would see me put on the tape. Like whoever was
Yeah.
sitting me.
Like, what
Like,
in the BDSM is getting ready to happen right now?
yo, over and over again, I would just see people's eyes just widen up while I'm applying this tape to myself. They're like, "Oh shit, we about to go down." You know? Whatever's gonna happen for him is gonna be the last time it happens. Like he's making sure.
Oh
But
my
now I was just
god.
trying not to snore and breathe through my nose. I was trying to do that deeper.
Oh, man. Well, I guess now is the time to mention that this episode has been brought to you by Hostage Tape.
Yeah, man, it works. I don't know. I'm gonna hit them up, give them their props. This was
Yeah,
dope.
no, absolutely you should. I'm willing to bet they don't really have
Yeah,
anybody who's their
yeah, no one's repping hostage
spokesman.
tape
No
and
one's
like,
repping Hostage Tape. So I think there's room for you to step in and kinda
yeah,
make your mark.
they haven't reached out to Steph Curry, and all the other family names that like do a lot. No Kevin Hart sponsorships.
No,
You
no,
know,
no, no. I think you can get in there early. I really do.
Ground floor sponsorship,
Yeah.
baby. I believe in the brand. But
Wow.
I'm glad the flight went well. I am happy that you're back, but
Yeah.
admittedly a little jealous I don't share this plane experience you had.
Yeah,
My
all
plane
you
ride
gotta
was
do is
fine, but it wasn't that. That sounded awesome.
just go on over to Melbourne, you know what I mean? Or at least go on over to New Zealand.
There
Just
you
go
go.
on,
That's it.
just grab you a little flighty flight over there. Prepare to surrender yourself to the sky, and then you'll be fine.
Oh man, I love it. Let's get into the news, Sha.
Alrighty.
Kicking it off today. Girl 9 sues the state fair after her pet goat is entered in an auction and barbecued. That's
Okay.
right. That's a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I heard about this while I was gone. This definitely captivated a lot of people. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
this was the most submitted article of the week.
I believe it. It's harsh. It is really harsh.
A 9-year-old girl and her family are suing a state fair after her pet goat was entered into an auction and feared to have been barbecued. The girl's mother, Jessica Long, bought her 7-month-old white boar named Cedar,
Cedar.
Cedar,
Cedar. Mhm.
in April of 2022. Her daughter grew to love the goat with chocolate-colored markings on its face as a family pet, according to the lawsuit. But in June, Long entered Cedar into a Shasta District Fair's junior livestock auction to be sold off as meat. Before the auction began, however, the Long family changed their minds as the girl had grown attached and tried to withdraw the goat. The fair denied the family's request, and Cedar was sold for $902. Long then decided to steal the goat. Yo, that's what's up.
I
That's how you
mean,
handle it right there, baby.
mhm.
Go after your family. It was heartbreaking. The barn was mostly empty, and at the last minute, I decided to break the rules and take the goat that night and deal with the consequences later. Wrote Long in an email to the Shasta District Fair on June 27th. I knew when I took it that my steps were to make it right with the buyer and the fairgrounds. I will pay you back for the goat and any other expenses I caused. I would like to ask for your support in finding a solution. The fair's chief executive officer, Melanie Silva, would not have it. Making an exception for you will only teach our youth that they do not have to abide by the rules that are set up for all participants, wrote back Silva. Unfortunately, this is out of my hands. You will need to bring the goat back to the Shasta District Fair immediately. The fair's livestock manager, BJ McFarland, texted Long, threatening to call the law enforcement on her and that she would face a felony count of grand theft if she did not bring the goat back, according to the suit. And on July 8th, a judge approved the search warrant for Cedar. Police descended on the Bleaton Hearts Farm and Sanctuary in Napa and did not find the goat. They then went to a farm in Sonoma County that Long had contacted and took Cedar, although they did not have a search warrant for the site.
Mm.
The suit alleges that Cedar was handed over to a person with the fair for slaughter destruction instead of being held for a court hearing to decide the rightful owner. And what happened of Cedar is not clear, but Long's attorney, Vanessa Shakib, said that they do not believe the goat is still alive.
Okay. Yeah, no, probably not.
Nah,
Um, this is wild.
this is
This
a
is
movie.
wild. Okay, I just feel like I don't know if it's really a fair's responsibility to teach the children about fairness. Like, you know what? If the love for this goat was so strong that the woman went in and stole it, I feel like, I guess, charge her with whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever. She already said, "Look, I'll pay you back," and blah, blah, blah. And if they wanted to be hardcore and they're just like, "Nope, we're gonna charge you for a felony count for theft," then, I mean, I guess that's as hardcore as you're gonna be. Um, both kind of make a point. I don't see why they couldn't just go, "Oh, you wanna take your goat out? Alright, fine." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it could have been nipped in the bud early if they were just like, "Alright, well, I guess if you" people withdraw from things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, to make them do that seemed over the top, but that's where they ended up. So now she's like, well, then I got to do what I got to do. So you know what I mean? Like, I see how all those things fall into place where it definitely is fucked up. And this is just the law and order in me, not
Okay.
not the cop, but I mean, like the show, the TV show, the law and order in me. This is where, in the law part of the second half of the show, this is where they fucked up, is that they went to that second location and they didn't have a warrant for that second location.
Hmm.
And then they took that goat and they shouldn't have. And then they didn't keep the goat alive the way
Yeah.
they should have if they were going to, you know what I mean?
Shows it's personal.
So now you rushing into places. You see what
Hmm.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be the only one that gets to rush into a place and take a goat.
Yeah.
Everybody should be okay to do that.
I I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I didn't know that goats cost $902.
No, it's it's at the goats cost.
Yo,
No,
like
no, that's not like the market rate.
that's the guy I'm about to say, yo. Like I be having like
Oh,
oxtail.
so you don't know the deal with like state fairs and shit, do you?
No, this is news to me. I didn't know how this worked.
Okay, so at state fairs they have these livestock competitions, right?
Okay.
And people will enter animals into the fair auction, the competitions, and then you get a blue ribbon, you got a blue ribbon cow there, or you got a, A1 goat or whatever it is.
Okay.
But some of those are means that, or a pig, that means that they go to there's to slaughter. So that's what Charlotte's Web is about. The pig Wilbur,
Yeah.
he is a big pig and they want to enter him into the fair, but if he wins, then he's killed.
How's that a W?
That's what I'm saying.
That's
For the
grimy.
animal, it's not. But but for you, that means that you know how to raise an animal that people can eat off of. It's for the farmer. It shows that you're a good enough farmer. You know how to feed I know how to take care of my animals to feed people.
Right.
It's not for the animal. The animal don't get any of that glory. The
At
animal's
all.
gone.
Yeah.
So that's why Charlotte started putting the words over some pig over Wilbur's pen, because they, and then they're like, well, this must be some special pig. So they don't enter him into the contest to be slaughtered.
Right, right.
So that's what they do. So this is what happens at a fair, is like, you're teaching your kids how all of it works, how farming works, how supplying works, right?
Yeah.
So they raise this little, and this happens all the time. The kids, they raise, goats, or they raise a pig, and they enter it, and then they win, and they're like, look, I know how to fucking fatten this bad boy up for the slaughter. And then you get a ribbon, and then they kill the thing, and then so yeah, but that's how that works at a fair.
Yo. That is
And
horrible.
please, any troops or correspondents, please let me know if I got that wrong. I know I spent a couple of weeks watching a lot of stuff on YouTube, livestock YouTube, and it ain't fun. But
Oh my God.
but yeah, but I mean that's the mindset. So if this child was like, "No, I want to keep the goat," I and they're like, "We don't wanna put the goat in." The fair is like, they're making money kind of off of,
Right.
they're like, "Well, someone's gonna pay for this goat or whatever, but people are gonna come in, they're gonna bid," like, it's big business. It's a huge that people wait all year. It's an annual thing,
So
and it
like
lasts.
goat is pretty good, but somebody's like, yo, I ate the fair winning goat last year. That's like a talking point. Like you
I
paid
don't know
nine hundred
I
two
don't know
dollars
if
for that
people,
goat.
yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I paid that much for that goat and then had it slaughtered, and I guess,
Yo, we in a wild world, B. That's crazy.
I mean,
That's bananas, B. That's a
that's what
teaching lesson to a kid?
yeah, that's what 4-H is.
Yo.
No, for real, 4-H is like that organization that teaches kids how to, I don't know, live off the land, or I don't know, but livestock, and I forget what the 4-H's stand for. Horses? I don't know. Hey, I forget. Because we had 4-H in our elementary school, but we also were like in suburban Atlanta. So I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if all these things apply to the kind of life I plan on leading."
What is happening?
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, no, it's a thing. But I didn't think but in order but the thing is you gotta be cold-blooded, right? So that's why they were like, "Nah, we're gonna take you gonna enter that goat because you gotta be cold-blooded, because you can't be this." The way they're probably thinking, "This little girl fucked up by having feelings for this goat. You need to harden your child. How about that?" You know what I mean? Like, it's
We ain't
insane.
raising no vegans out here, okay?
Yeah, yeah, you knew what it was. Why don't you move to the city then? You wanna
We
keep
ain't
your
tell you to
goats.
name the goat.
All the animals have names. It is act honestly, it is wild when you sit here and think about
Yo,
it.
I'm
Like, "Oh
blown
my
away right
god."
now. Like, you kept saying words like, yeah, this makes more sense, right? No, it did not. Not a single sentence to follow the previous sentence helped. It added clarity, but it did not add like comfort at all.
Yeah,
That
no, there's no comfort. It is cold comfort. Yeah.
yo, that is bananas.
Yeah, so it's fucked up all around.
Oh my! I am sincerely rooting for this to become a Netflix movie. Like this is a doc waiting to happen right here. Like I want to
Man,
see like the
go on
interviews.
I'm telling you, go on livestock YouTube. I'm telling you. Where you can watch these little cold I mean, I remember watching this family where, the little boy is raising some maybe a pig or maybe it was a goat. I forget what it was, but yeah, like, they're just like in their gear and they're like, I'm just slopping and feeding and cleaning them and putting them in and look, we won, yay! And then they they take the animal off and you're like, what?
You didn't even get a last meal. Like yo, that's bananas.
Oh man,
Yo, that poor
yeah.
yo, man. I want to pour some out for that goat. You deserved better.
Oh my gosh, we got to get you out of Brooklyn. That's what we got to do. Okay. Yeah. Everyone out there, let us know what state fair we need to take Gastor to this year.
I'm
Because
game.
because it'll run for like a whole month in the summer,
Yo,
and we could go to many. My cousin was married to. I have a cousin who was married to a guy from Iowa, and they would go to the Iowa State Fair. And I was like, when are y'all gonna take me to the goddamn fair? Come on, take me to Iowa. I'm trying to see this fair. But I
oh
never
my
got to
god.
go, and honestly, probably for the best.
Yeah, I'm not a I got a lot to learn. This bugged me
Yeah.
out so much.
Yeah, yeah, the country is wild. This country is wild.
What is happening? Okay.
Yeah, mhm.
Good luck to that girl in therapy. Um Oh man, I hope she fuck with Brussels sprouts and spinach because that is in her future.
Yeah, yeah.
In other news, thieves tunneled through a coffee shop wall to steal $500,000 in iPhones from a
Okay.
Washington Apple store. That's right. An,
Oh,
an Apple store in Alderwood Mall, and the Alderwood Mall was burgled,
burgled,
bur-
burgled.
burgled.
Yeah, I hate when people use the word that way.
Yeah, that is terrible. Jesus.
Mhm.
Uh, last weekend with thieves infiltrating the location through a nearby coffee shop. According to Seattle's news, thieves broke into Seattle Coffee Gear, went into the bathroom, and cut a hole in the wall to get into the Apple Store's back room.
Mm.
The burglars were able to bypass Apple Store's security system by using the adjacent coffee shop, stealing a total of 436 iPhones that were worth around $500,000. According to the Seattle Coffee Gear manager, Eric Marks, that is real. The coffee shop is not noticeably adjacent to the Apple store because of the way that the store is laid out. I would have never suspected we were adjacent to the Apple store. How it wraps around, I mean, Marks told the local news. So someone really had to think it out and have access to the mall layout. Police were able to obtain surveillance footage of the theft, but as it's part of an active investigation, it has not yet been released. Nothing was stolen from the coffee shop, but it will cost $1,500 to replace the locks and repair the bathroom wall. And no employees were at the Apple store when the theft happened at the Alderwood Mall, as it had closed for the night. An
Mm.
Alderwood spokesperson said they were working with the police to solve the incident.
I mean, Apple, don't think you can't get got.
Yeah,
People are people are breaking into other businesses through the business next door a day.
yo,
Every day someone is coming in the back way.
real talk. You don't watch movies? Like I
Yeah,
felt like
like
this was common, you know?
yeah, but I mean, I love that this person was like, someone had to really think it out and have access to the mall layout. Yeah, you could probably just Google the layout of the mall.
Yeah, real
It's
talk.
literally like a movie scene where it's on a computer and they bring it up and they're like, "So if we go in here," and, like everybody writing the directions and
I was
like a
gonna
football
say,
game when those, arrows come up. Like
yo, as soon as you show up to the mall, they show you the layout. Like every
yeah.
mall has it in display. They want you to know the layout.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, like, not for the tunnels. When you go, they show you where the shops are, right?
Yeah,
But then there are all the tunnels and other sneaky squirrel ways, like coming in the back ways that they don't show the customers. But if you work there,
you got
you
them.
figure out. Because when I worked at a mall, I worked at the Gap naturally, and I they were like, "Oh, come to the back door," and I was just like, "Where's the back door of the mall? The whole mall is a what?" Like I didn't know what they meant, and so I kept trying to find where the back door is, and I was supposed to be there to open,
Yeah,
and so which is 2 hours before the store opens,
yeah,
and so for 2 hours, I was just walking around trying to figure out how to get back there, and then when it was time for the mall to open at 10, I just walked in. It was my first day. I'm 2 hours late because I'm there circling the mall for 2 hours, and I was like, "Where is the back door?" And that's when the manager's like, "Oh, yeah, we didn't actually explain that, did we?"
yeah.
I just naturally said, "Come to the back door." So they walked me from the back of the store. There's a hallway, and it's for, like, deliveries and shit,
Right,
right?
right.
So they walk they're like, "Here where the deliveries are. Here's where the deliveries will come in. Here's where we put trash and cardboard for recycling. And then here is how you get to various parking lots. Here's how you can walk down to the food court. Here's how you" like, we walk the perimeter of the mall through just the tunnels and back hallways and shit.
Mm.
And so that you'd have to look up online, but you can do that, or you just have to know someone who worked in that mall. It ain't hard. It ain't hard. I'm not saying I'm gonna steal, um, 40 40 phones that cost half a million or whatever the fuck. Let's talk about that. How is it 439 phones cost half $1,000,000?
That's a problem.
That is a problem. And I was like, "Damn, I just bought a phone too." I
Yo,
coulda
right? You were
I
part
should
of
have
that
waited.
raid right there.
I know.
I mean, I always love these hustles because like I've seen them, and they inspire me. You know, I love seeing people think outside the. It just shows you that like there's genius everywhere. Like whoever did this was making $15 an hour at the mall. You understand that? Like
Oh, right.
this is wasted potential. Like there's a person who understood schematics, construction, and you were paying this person so little that he's like, you know what makes the most sense for me and my skill set? Yo, I'm gonna break into two businesses.
Right. Yep.
Dope. And then eBay these phones later. Like
Yeah.
he looked at his life and they was like, yep, this is the best way to leverage all of this talent. That this is if this isn't a sign that we as a country aren't like looking at our people and leveraging them to the best of their abilities, giving them opportunities to shine.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, no, we're leveraging them just in a terrible way.
word.
We're all leveraged, but it ain't good.
Yo, like there's a part of me that's like, if I was this person, I'd
Mhm.
almost admit to it just to apply for jobs. You know,
Yeah,
like
that actually that does track for you.
real time. Like, yep, I did this. I
Mm,
came up with this plan. Only took me
mhm.
6 hours. Imagine what I could do for your business.
Right,
Boom,
and
you
then
know?
and then they walk you out in cuffs because 'cause they're like, "Why are you on the street?"
You know what I mean? I'll be available to work from home / sell for the next 6 7 years. Hey man, hey, make it happen. I'm rooting for y'all out there, criminals. Keep it popping. I need some new iPhones too. So whoever did this, like, my email's out there. I won't snitch. Reach out. I need 4 of them.
Oh my
This is
god.
awesome. In other news, Florida 6th grade teacher oversaw fights amongst girls in class. That's right. A Florida teacher facilitated classroom fights amongst girls at her middle school, even announcing rules and warning students not to pull hair. Authorities in Tallahassee said Angel Drew Footman, 23, of course, is charged with 4 counts of contributing to delinquency of a minor. Arraignment is scheduled for May. It wasn't clear whether she had an attorney. The public defender's office for the area did not immediately respond to the request. An affidavit filed to support the arrest warrant for Footman, which was issued Tuesday, said she denied having organized the fights at the Griffin Middle School in Tallahassee. The author of the document, Sheriff Detective Hannah Perry, wrote that Footman offered this explanation. Footman stated outright that she knows she has poor classroom management skills. No shit. Okay.
Wait, stop. Stop. I can't hold on. I just wanna sit in that for a second.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the rest of this article. So, all right, affidavit is based on numerous interviews with faculty members and students, including girls involved in the fights, some of whom went to Footman's 6th grade classroom from other classes to participate. All the girls had had Footman as a teacher at some point. Some of those were called out of other classes to go engage in these fights. She denied calling the girls out of those rooms, but two fights took place in March of it took place in March, and they involved 6 girls who paired off. No one was injured. What? Okay, video was captured. The voice there was a voice on the video that appeared to present rules. 30 seconds, no screaming, no yelling, no phones. And then she came through like, stop pulling hair, and then, all right, break it up.
Yo, this is awesome.
Is it? I don't know if awesome is the word I'd use.
I'm pro Fight Club. I love this. Get it out your system and keep it moving.
I am for get it out your system and keep it moving. I don't know if it should be with a teacher there saying, "Okay, here are the rules." You know what I mean?
Then who should say the rules, Sha?
I'm not honestly, the 6th grade, middle school, probably an 8th grader.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's somebody else who knows the rules. Now, granted, this woman is 23. She damn near in 8th grade herself. She just got out of school. So,
Oh
um,
man.
the fights were planned. It said participants say that the fights were planned. The girls did not say Footman organized them, but they did seem to suggest that she was helpful. She is alleged to have asked, for example, whether they wanted friendly fade confrontations.
Yo.
And for those who don't know, friendly fade refers to fights among friends who agree to remain friends afterwards.
Look at that. Yo.
This is all look, here's why. Look, I am not anti kids fighting each other necessarily. Sometimes someone does need to catch a fade.
Yeah.
Friendly or otherwise, you know? Um but again, I don't know if doing it in the classroom is smart, and I certainly don't know if the teacher like it needs to be a kids operation. Like kid fighting needs to stay with the kids.
That's fair.
No, an adult should not be there to be like, "Hey, y'all, stop." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I do. I guess like maybe like it was one of those like if you build it, they will come things, and like she was gonna
But
pass it
why are
off.
you building it? Why do you? You know what I mean? The kids are gonna if she did not supply the space, do you think that the kids were just not going to fight? The kids were going to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They would go into some other classroom. There's probably some designated place in that school where kids go to fight anyway. There's
Fair.
probably some place on a field. There's probably some place where the buses pick them up. There are
Yeah.
many places.
But
I'll
if you want
meet
to if
you.
you want to be ranked as a fighter, you do it here, you know?
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Plenty of kids have fun. Like all of those, an eighth grader, if two sixth graders are fighting, an eighth grader certainly has been through enough fights to be like, hey, don't pull hair. You know what I mean? Like,
That's fair.
there's some maternal child. There's some 13-year-old who's like, I mean, fight, but you don't have to scratch him like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you have that in you. Someone has that in them.
Okay. I
Um,
get that. I agree.
yeah. So that's my only thing. Like, I'm not mad at the kids fighting. I just don't think it's smart to do it. Also, if I'm a kid and the teacher's like, you can fight in my room, that's a motherfucking trap. Ain't no way I'm fighting in your room. There's no way. There's no way.
I just want to, yo, real talk. As a kid, you shouldn't fight in her classroom because, like, I wouldn't want the fight to be an example. You know, like,
Hmm.
listen, if you put more effort into this class, like you did last week with fighting Tanash, like, yo, the way you rocked, that's what I'm talking about. You need to have that same drive when
In the
writing this
actual work.
paragraph. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't know. I'm kind of about this. I'm trying my hardest to agree with you, Sha, but I can't. My
mm,
everything in my heart tells me I love this teacher. I hope she doesn't give. I hope she starts a course on Skillshare explaining to more teachers the
I don't
value of how to do
I
this.
don't think she will because as she said, she has horrible classroom management.
But great fight organization. Okay, those are different
Yeah,
skills.
you might be in the wrong business, ma'am. Um, you may just want to bide your time at a at an Apple store until until you can find the place for you.
Holla at Dana White. You know he needs an intern. Work your way up.
But oh my gosh, she said outright she has poor classroom management skills.
They sound. All I heard was community building. You know, do you
Did
want
you
a friendly
you think
fade?
so?
Meet me here 30 seconds
Uh-huh.
only. Don't pull hair. You know, show respect.
Okay,
You know,
so
keep it
maybe
classy.
she
Yeah,
should just open a community center instead of doing this in the classroom.
fair. You know, yeah, you could
Uh-huh.
do some fights, teach STEM. I like this.
I don't know if STEM is really what people are learning here.
Oh man, yo, yo, if you started GoFundMe for your legal fees, hit me up. I'm a fan. You know, I'll let these people hold you down like that fight you saw. Okay, I'm
Mhm.
here for
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
In other news, a high school was raffling off an AR-15. What is
I'm sorry.
happening?
I didn't mean to laugh.
A high school athletics department in a small town in central Ohio is raffling off powerful firearms, including an AR-15, to raise funds to buy equipment for the track team. The gun raffle, in aid of Upper Sandusky's Rams track and field, has been so popular that this week the organizers added a fifth gun to the prize list, and on Wednesday announced all $510 tickets have been sold.
Mm,
The guns on offer include a Savage 93 R17 bolt action rifle with the scope, Mossberg Patriot 350 Legend, two Tissas 1911 handguns, and an AR-15 rifle. I know what none of those things mean.
mhm. Right.
The raffle comes in the same week as obviously a former student used an AR-15 a style rifle along with two other guns during a mass shooting that left three children and three adults dead at Covenant School in Nashville. The AR-15, dubbed America's rifle by National Rifle Magazine in 2016, has been used in
Jesus.
many of the highest profile mass shootings over the last decade. In light of recent events, has anyone had a chance to ask Upper Sandusky School Board about the intelligence of this raffle? One local resident commented this week on the city's Facebook board. The Upper Sandusky School Board, the school district superintendent, and the head of the track team all failed to respond to local news' requests. While some residents locally were angry, uh, saying statements such as "Nothing says I support track like a shiny new murder gun," said Nick Barnes. Other commenters on the Barnes post tried to defend the AR-15s for personal use.
Okay. Okay. I stop. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. No matter what they say, they sold all 500 tickets
Yeah,
for this raffle.
straight
Like,
up.
here's I there are many issues here with this. Um, I understand that they are trying to raffle off things that people would want, and
Mhm.
that is the area, and people there want guns, and people are willing to. It's not going to help you with your track and field
Yeah.
team, um, because you're gonna need black people. That's what's gonna help your track and field team. That's what's gonna help. Have you tried that? It's literally running. What else are you what are you it's running and throwing things. Buy the things, practice that, get a track. What do we
Yeah.
need? What else do you need?
Have you thought of recruiting? You know?
Use the guns, shoot at their feet to get them to run faster. What are we doing? Stop it. This
Oh
is
man.
this is insane, but this is also like this is how they roll. It's kind of hard. It's like I read these kinds of things and I'm like, that's so ridiculous. But I'm also looking at it through the lens of where I'm living.
Right.
Um, and it's where they live, and this is how things go. I think I would not have added an AR-15 rifle because they're kind of they they have a bit of a rep right now that I
For
feel
real.
like maybe we shouldn't be tossing them in with other things. Like that's going to get you some attention, unwanted attention, if you're trying to go under the radar with this, unless you were trying to make a stand,
Right.
which is possible. That they're just like, oh yeah. I mean, the NRA calling the AR-15 America's rifle
That's wild.
is like, get out of here. You're all so evil.
Yeah.
But
Like the accuracy in that is not a good thing.
mhm. Mhm.
You know, like the
Exactly.
fact that that's accurate is not for good reason. Uh yeah, I first I'm blown away that the track moms came up with this. Um
Yes, I just saw that.
yo,
The
that's
track moms have
bananas.
put together a gun raffle to raise money for the team this year. We don't bake cakes no more?
Yo, sincerely. Like
You can't like I don't know how much guns are, but I bet if you gave away a couple of phones or maybe some tablets, that might you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like
That's what's throwing me off. I'm like, for this to make sense, that means that so much bother this like so they have 5 guns.
mhm.
For this to make sense, that means that at most they spent 2,500 on the guns, right? You make half on most of these raffles at minimum. Otherwise, why
Oh,
do the
okay.
raffle? You know,
Oh, all
they
right.
sold
Okay.
$10 tickets, 500 tickets. They made 5 grand.
Right.
So at worst, this costs 2,500.
Oh,
So
to at
like,
least get half of the money from the ticket
right
sales.
for the
Got it.
raffle.
Yes.
So like for
Uh-huh.
whatever they're trying to raise funds for. So
Mhm.
like right off the bat, that like I feel like I don't care. Their guns are out there. But like
Mhm.
a way to control guns is just guns shouldn't be this cheap. Like
Yeah.
that threw me off. That like you could buy 5 guns for $2,500 legally. Like that's
Right.
crazy. You
And
know,
also,
like a gun.
who
Like it
did
shouldn't be
the
like, yo, I'm gonna get a gun or an Xbox.
what about a background check? Are the
Yeah,
track moms doing background checks?
word.
Who checked up on the track moms who got the guns?
This is wild.
Yo, I need serial numbers. I
Yeah.
need to know, like, is this waterlogged because y'all drug it out of the bottom of a
How
where
many
these guns
bodies has
come from?
AR got already? You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I'm saying.
that's what I want to know.
How many bodies?
If you
Oh,
selling them, if you raffling them off, like I'm already assuming.
exactly.
You know,
Each at least 2 bodies each.
that's it.
If they're in a raffle, you put a gun in a raffle?
You give me Bin Laden's gun or something? What's going on here, B?
What's going on? Yeah. Nah, them guns dirty. Mm-mm. There are so many y'all, come on.
Yo,
Come
and like
on.
I understand like the community, sure, But like, my first thought is like, it's track and they're teenagers. You couldn't raffle sneakers.
Anything. I mean, anything.
I feel like
There
that
is
makes
there are
sense.
other things I feel like that people would want or need. Raffle off TVs. You know how cheap TVs are?
Yeah.
Do something else. Yeah, there are other things you could raffle outside of I know that this is your community and all that kind of stuff, but like there are other ways y'all could have gone, and this possibly was just for the attention, because like the way that the dude was just like, oh, thanks to the track, he said this on a Facebook on a Facebook post. Yay, look at the track bombs coming through with the guns for the raffle. Come on now.
Oh my god. Unless similar to the baking, you made the gun. Then I guess as a
Mm.
track mom, I'm okay with it. But like, yeah, I'm blown away that like y'all that a mom suggested this, and then other moms was like, yeah, that sounds dope.
Well, I mean, the governor of Ohio last year signed a law allowing teachers to carry weapons in classrooms with only 20 hours of training. So maybe the teachers were like, "Yeah, I mean, I'll carry one, but y'all got to give it to me." And they're like, "Buy a raffle ticket."
Yeah, and that's my other question. So like,
Mm,
the teachers can carry it, students can't. But what if you won the gun? Like, nah, that's my school gun. You know what I mean? It's in my
right?
locker. I
Yes.
just won it yesterday.
I mean, it sounds like that's okay. I mean, ultimately,
It still got
like
the
I feel
tag. You
like
see?
any hypothetical we come up with sounds like it'll be all right because we're already starting from this point.
Oh man.
So you're not going to stump them with a scenario because they're already giving away guns in a raffle. So they 2-3 steps ahead of us when
Real
it comes
talk.
to gotcha. And they're like, you didn't get me. I already have the gun. And it's like, oh, well, never mind then.
Real talk. A whole high school that embodies like shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Hmm.
Okay. Finally, the an Australian mayor prepares the world's first defamation lawsuit over Chat GPT content. That's right. Regional Australian mayor said he may sue the OpenAI if it does not correct Chat GPT's false claims that he had served time in prison for bribery in what would be the first defamation lawsuit against the automated text service. Brian Hood, who was elected mayor of Hepburn Shire, a 120 kilometer northwest of Melbourne town, and last November became concerned about his reputation when members of the public told him ChatGPT had falsely named him as a guilty party in a foreign bribery scandal involving a subsidiary of the Reserve Bank of Australia in the early 2000s. Hood did work for the subsidiary. I don't need subsidiary. I'm saying that right, right?
Subsidiary.
Subsidiary. There you go.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like I'm close, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
You know, the note printing Australia was the name of it, but was the person who notified authorities about payments of bribes to foreign officials to win currency printing contracts and was never charged with the crime. So he was a snitch, right? Reading that
Okay,
right?
so he was the snitch,
Yeah,
and Chat GPT named him as guilty
yeah.
because it's just AI and they're just pulling names and information and then spitting that back out in a different way.
Yo, this
Okay.
I rock with this. Like maybe
What? Okay, all right, your name is out there in a lot of ways, Gastor.
yo,
So,
listen,
now when it is applied to the wrong thing,
I'm getting
who you gonna sue? Who you gonna sue?
because this is the thing, Sha. Look, it's not that Chat GPT didn't get this wrong. It's just
Mhm.
that they don't realize Chat GPT's from the block. Okay, so
Oh,
he's putting out, yo, don't trust this dude. He a snitch. Okay, and he don't understand that. He thinks, yo, you ain't supposed. I was the good one. Nah, B, you the tattletale. Okay, he don't understand
okay,
that Chat GPT got different ethics. Okay, first the first
okay,
the first the first letter in chat is G. Okay, Chat GPT. Okay, they
okay,
gotta respect
alright.
his G. All right, get it right.
So you're thinking that, this Chat GPT has a strong no snitching
No
code.
snitching code.
And so this entity, this machine,
Mm-hmm.
has a no snitching code, and so they kind of turned on my man. What's his name? Brian Hood or
Brian
something?
Hood, because exactly, he was like, "Yo, you supposed to be one of us, okay? You grew up on the block, the streets in Australia. I don't know where those
No,
are. You
no,
know, South
I
Side,
don't think so.
120 kilometers, baby.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think um I don't think AI is. I mean, it's just the information that's pulled and presented incorrectly, right?
Yeah, no,
That's
I dig it.
yeah. So like, eh, I mean, I guess he should be like, "Hey, y'all got that wrong." But also, I don't even know who's accountable for that shit. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, I don't even know who's like, "Our bad. We'll try to correct that." You can't. It's just a machine, right? It's artificial intelligence, so it's not even real intelligence. So it's like, they want a name. Here's a name that's affiliated with it. It must be the person. So I don't know what you want. This is why y'all let this shit loose. This is what's
yeah.
gonna happen,
That's it.
you
Just
know?
lean in. Like the thing is, like, I don't know. I feel like, yo, he did this shit, okay? Even if he did. And I'll tell you why. Because
Mhm,
I agree. The AI shit, we know. We should all know it's just pulling random information, it's trying its best. But we all accept that it's also not perfect. So when you
mhm.
heard this shit, if you didn't do it, your instincts would have been like, yeah, that's crazy. And keep it moving. Okay? But it
Right.
bothered you, it ate at you, Mr. Mayor. You know?
It
Because
didn't.
maybe there's some truth to what
No,
ChatGPT found out.
no,
Okay?
there's no truth. I feel like someone who snitched on people doing wrong would also be upset if you had him listed as the people doing wrong. I think that's also, it still feels like it's in his code, his personal code. But, I mean, I don't know I don't know how much we're supposed to roll with things. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, so many new things are happening, and I'm not saying, and I mean, this is partially, I'm an old lady, so I am railing against the new stuff, like, "Why we gotta keep changing shit?" or whatever. But, but for the most part, I'm trying to roll with things. I don't know if I mean, like, these kinds of things are necessary to kinda hammer out if companies are going to start using AI to like write articles and shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Because if we don't have people like Brian Hood to go through and start suing to see how these things will shake out, all kinds of misinformation is just going to, more so than usual, it's going to go out there. So, I mean, I see Brian Hood as a snitching hero, right?
True.
I mean, okay, he snitched and that's what got him here. But and look, I don't even know how I feel about snitching. I guess I take it on a case by case. But
Yeah.
I am I don't like tattletales, but um, but like he's doing us a favor by
Yeah.
seeing how much these companies are going to, what are they gonna do? Like, are we truly screwed, or is there a way for us to not be screwed? Because if it came for this guy, it could come for anyone, right? It's real random.
That's real.
It's real random. So I just want to know, do I need to prepare? Do we all just need to start putting money aside to sue AI because it's going to put our name in some shit that we didn't do? Or will someone tighten up somewhere? Is there any way that things can be tightened up a little bit before
Yeah.
we just go running out into the unknown?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm definitely budgeting to sue AI. You know what I mean? Why not? I'm
Just,
ready.
you know what I mean? Just a couple of pennies in a
Yeah.
jar
You never
every
know.
day. You never know when you're gonna have to fight fight for your honor against a robot. Oh Lord, take me now. Take me now.
If you would like,
To contribute to our AI fighting fund.
just send a couple pennies. You know, you never know. Someone's gonna
Mhm.
accuse me of defaming sandwiches. I don't know. It's gonna like weirdly worded, like Gastor goes keto after like having some weird shit like that's
I
gonna come
mean,
out.
someone's gonna put a sandwich in your mouth via words, and you're gonna be like, "What?" And now we all gotta fucking now it's just affidavits all over the place because of that.
All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If If you are Apple, Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You're going to let me take this L. ChatGPT took me down. You know, and all I said was I love that sandwich. Okay, I just like this other sandwich more. 5 stars, you get it. Okay, you supported me. Okay, I love cold cuts. Okay, but you know I'm a chicken cutlet sandwich kind of person. You know, nothing wrong. And like apparently now that means I don't like Italian people, all because of ChatGPT, and that's not true. I got awesome Italian friends. I went to high school in Queens. You know, Howard Beach. I'm just giving ChatGPT all the ammo it needs right now.
You really are. Now you're going to have your name next to Howard Beach? Bruh, that's not smart.
Yeah, I mean, they're great people over there. I know. I love their pizza. Shouts to New Park.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
Oh, yeah.
But there was one incident in Howard Beach, which is how people know it. And that's what ChatGPT is going to pick up on. And then say, well, this guy Gastor over here said he loves it.
It's a great area. You know what I mean? Good times. Went to a lot of parties over there.
Stop talking.
If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs this week to Mahadi W. I'm Danny Nagasi, Lori McDaniel, FCBLJ. Always appreciate the article. Sorry if I butchered the name or two there. There was a couple new ones, but sincerely appreciate y'all taking part. With all that said, I am the soon-to-be arrested Gastor Almonte with my lawyer and advocate, Shalewa Sharpe.
I have watched enough Law and Order. I absolutely could do it.
Amen. You know, it's my old defense fund. It's all I can afford, Sha. Okay. This has been a AI edited episode of the War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.